Oh, hey there. So this last week, I got asked to come and speak to the young adults about relationships for Valentine's Day. There was me and several other people on the panel. And I was like, are you sure you picked the right guy? So, I said yes, because I say yes to pretty much everything. And so I show up and they ask me, it's hard questions, right? Hard questions for people in relationships and then being single. And I was like, you probably couldn't have picked a worse person to talk about this topic. Like, I've been single for the last 4 years. I've been single, if you add it up, for, I don't know, decades of my adult life. And, I've basically failed at every single relationship I've ever had in my entire life. So you probably want to ask somebody who's actually successful at this. I mean, it's like asking a homeless person for financial advice. Nevertheless, this is what, it ended up being a blessing, okay? It ended up being good, and they received it well. And I think that there's a lot of single people there that probably maybe needed to hear what I had to say. So, the other people did it right. And so they were married and then stayed married and all that stuff. And then there was me. And I was like, look, I've been married and divorced twice. My wife's cheated on me and left me. It's not something I wanted. I didn't want to be, alone. I didn't want to be a failure, because you feel like a failure once you go through a divorce. In case you haven't been through a divorce, let me just tell you what that feels like, okay? It feels like a dumpster got laid on your chest, and it's hard to lift your head up to fake a smile. That's what it feels like. It feels like you're a failure, like you're not man enough, like you should have done something better, and because you didn't do it, that's why they cheated and left. It's not necessarily true, right? If somebody cheats, that means there's something wrong with them, not something wrong with you. There might be something wrong with you too, though, just in all fairness. Anyway, they asked me, how do you deal with the loneliness, right? And I was like, that's fair. That's a good question. So here's my response to that. I know lots of people who are in marriages that are miserable, and they're more lonely than I am. And I'm like, I would rather, if it's a choice, I'd rather stay single. I'm not saying divorce somebody, but stay single and deal with it than be in a marriage where it's even worse, right? So there's lots of people that are in marriages that are like, man, I envy you. You can do whatever you want. You have freedom. You can travel the world. If you want to get up and do something, you just do it. You don't ask anybody. And they're right. I know lots of people that are single that are like, if I had somebody that loved me, wouldn't that be great? And they're right. But it's a bunch of people wishing for what they didn't have, not appreciating what they do have, but rather always focusing on what they don't have. And I don't waste any time doing that. So I look around and I go, okay, so I'm single, but I do have freedom. I can travel the world. I can do lots of cool things. I don't have to ask anybody's permission. And how do I deal with loneliness? I stay very busy. I work a lot. I play music everywhere. I act, I go to premieres, I write books, I fill my life with lots of good things. And if I start getting the least bit depressed, and I told them this too, then it is my policy that you find somebody that has it worse than you, it won't be hard, and you be the friend of them that you wish somebody would be to you. Works every single time. It's the cure for depression. And so I told them all this, and they were very grateful. And I'm still like, but he probably could have picked a better dude to talk to you guys about this, because I'm not great.